Now recording. This call is recording.
This
Uh,
call is being recorded.
this call is being recorded. I thought we were supposed to take. I thought I told you to take that out. You didn't take that out.
I like hearing that, sexy lady.
I do miss the Uber conference hold music. Can I say
Oh,
that
the
or
hold
no?
music, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm actually because Uber conference, at least is what we were using for years at work, and we're moving to Zoom, so we're coming to the dark side.
Yes.
Um,
We've conformed as I've conformed as well. Conformity at
you
its
guys were
finest.
using Uber conference at work too, right?
We were, yeah. Yeah. It seems so many years ago, even though it's probably like last year. But
Yeah,
now
I really like it, but the whole world is using Zoom, so
we're all
we gotta,
zooming.
yeah, we gotta comply with the world.
Yep, we gotta be cool. We gotta fit in. Thanks for listening to this episode of Two Years in a Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, Chris drinks Michelob Ultra. Chris, when you got home Sunday, did you? I fell asleep at 9. I mean, I think that's pretty early for me. But
Okay.
did you what like when you got home Sunday from the collective? Did you just like fall asleep at your front doorstep after I left? Or
No, so when we got home, my sister, my mom were here. They were here to do a photo shoot. Cause my sister does photography for kids for schools,
okay,
and like she rarely does this, but she brought the whole like setup to take pictures of Emma and Itzel for Christmas, cause she had to turn in all the Christmas equipment. So
oh wow, that's an early
that
Christmas photo.
yeah,
Did you
so
have to
that
dress
took
up in a sweater to take a
no, no, no,
Christmas
no.
photo after
It was
driving?
just the girls. No, I was not up for dressing up like nothing.
5 wrestling shows, 3-hour trips, 15 seltzers, and you come home and you have to take a Christmas photo in the middle of October.
Yeah, no, it was just the girls, and even the dogs got pictures. But yeah,
Ah,
no. I just kind of had to move furniture to make space, and it all worked out. But yeah, no. So that took a while, and then just kind of getting ready for Monday, getting a head start. Even though there was no school on Monday, I still had a few things to line up. And and yeah, like I think I went to bed like finally was able to take a shower, lay down, and not think about anything else around 11ish.
okay. Yeah, that's not.
Um, it
That's
wasn't bad. I
no.
honestly think though that I got more sleep over there in Indiana that I had all week, like in a single night. Usually on an average, I'm getting 5 hours of sleep, and I think we slept a little longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, we slept in till like maybe we started getting out of bed at 11, but right, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But we went to bed at 4:30, so it felt like we were the last people up in the entire of anyone who attended the collective that day. But we couldn't find a friend. We were all alone.
And then we couldn't find food in the morning.
Yeah, couldn't find food in the morning. Couldn't find a friend to drink with. I saw AJ Gray like lost in the hallways of the Marriott East with some like really late night takeout, and I invited him for beers, and I immediately frightened him because the man had gone through like 17 matches at that point, and then had like 4 more the next day, and rightfully so, he said no to us, but still brought a tear to my eye.
I mean, before we even talk about nighttime and Sunday morning, let's talk about just getting there, right? Like curveball that is Eastern time and not Central time. We
Yeah,
figured that out on the way there,
there really
or
it
I
really
at least
shouldn't
I
be
realized
it.
that.
It really shouldn't be a curveball. I mean, I've definitely traveled to Indiana before, but I think it was just like I hadn't planned any sort of trip in so long. I think I
Yeah,
was just like rusty. Not that I'm a great planner to begin with, but I was just rusty, I think.
I mean the coordination, the tickets, the hotel was booked by you, so that worked out great.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so we barely made it there. We made slightly late. We missed one match. Because our goal was to get there for the big gay brunch, Effie's big gay brunch.
Yeah. This is on Saturday, so we missed all Friday. There's a Fightful did a Fightful.com did a podcast where some guy literally breaks down every single match that happened this weekend.
Oh
So
my! Did he break down at the end
he
of
watched
it?
he watched every match. This man watched every match. And props to him for it was like an hour
I
and
want to
40
assume from
minutes.
home.
Yeah, from home. From home, he watched every match.
It has to be, yeah, more. He can pace himself at that point.
Yeah, he said he watched most of it live, but not all of it. So he had a chill weekend. But this is not the podcast for that. This is gonna be our experience. And we were mostly there Saturday, and then we saw one show Sunday before we headed out. And we walked in during the big gay brunch, but it was the second match. It was the still life with apricots and pears versus the dark chic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the venue itself, unexpected, right? Not, I guess it shouldn't have been.
That was another thing I think I mentioned to you. I'm like, I thought this whole thing was going to be outside for some reason.
So did I. I guess we just.
I never looked into what the collective itself, the location where it wasn't going to be. I'm like, oh, it's in Indiana. It's that show that they run in the outdoors.
Yeah, it's going to be at that like White Snake Park or whatever, right? And
right.
It was like Marion County Fairgrounds. I was like, okay, fairgrounds. That's outside. There's a ton of grassy space, which there was, but no, bro, we were in the Coliseum, right next to your arts and crafts, right next to your arts and crafts, right next to the poultry, right next to the cat, or excuse me, in between arts and crafts and cattle. If you hit the poultry, you've gone too far.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, regardless, like it was definitely like, I'm not gonna lie, like I had like second thoughts, like, oh shit, it's indoors, but let's go, let's be safe. Yeah. But once you get there, like the atmosphere of having wrestling around you, and with a crowd that's larger than 50 people, or like I think I mentioned to you, like just hearing the pop of people live, was a great feeling to experience all over again.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy's largest pop that ever popped during a quarantine. How am I coming in? Am I still sound like I'm far away? How's the mic today? I tweaked like something, I think.
Okay. You sound normal to me.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was a surprise. There was a surprise during Effie's Big Gay Brunch too. It was a replacement for Priscilla Kelly, who I think dealt with a family death over the weekend. So prayers for her. At least I think I saw something like that on Twitter. And it ended up being Marco Stunt wrestling Effie. Marco Stunt was the surprise, and I think that's the song of the weekend, right? I mean, his entrance song. I mean, I was going to tell you to probably put that at the beginning of this episode. So
that's yeah. It's a coin toss between Marco Stunt and Cassandra.
And Cassandra. Oh yeah, I actually have AJ Gray's Waka Flocka.
Oh yeah,
stuck in my head because he was on every single show. Like he is the Iron Man.
And he still gets pumped with the song, which I think that's cool. Like at least he plays the part. Like he's walking out and he's pumped, rapping the song, and I'm like that has to be like, that's part of the magic of picking the right entrance music.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. I think that song is really good. That song can get you pumped, but yeah, you have to like your own song because you have to sing it on the way out. It was refreshing to hear Ethan Page's song again too, like that custom.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like when they're the North, they don't come out with his song, and I really like his custom song. So yeah, AJ Gray was definitely the Iron Man of the weekend. That Fightful podcast. Apologies, I don't know the guy's name who did it, but he watched a lot of wrestling and he deserves your listen as well. But he called AJ Gray the MVP of the weekend. So MVP or Iron Man, whatever you want to call him. You could. I mean, I feel like Cassandra was in that running too, just from being himself. He wrestled like one match plus a clusterfuck, but still like his presence alone.
like his long robe and the way he like delicately like swings it around and knows what he's doing. It never gets like bunched up anywhere, no matter how many chairs he's
That's
going
true.
through. Like how he gets in the ring, like that thing is just flowing beautifully. Um,
There's so much drip. It's an insane amount of like it was just wetness everywhere from all the drip. Like it
let
was
him
just
up, let him up.
it was insane. He held us all in the palm of his hand, honestly. That the Effie's Big Gay Brunch might have been the show of the weekend for me. It was. I think it was things matter, right? It's our first show, so we're super pumped. But there
Yeah,
was a lot of people there. The crowd being there really helps, because there is loud pops, and there is loud pops for like a surprise entrant, and that
for
really
example,
elevates the show.
you had mentioned Marco Stunt, right? He did his appearance there. The crowd popped, and by the next two shows where he shows up, it's a pop, but it's not the same as the first surprise,
No, no,
right?
it's definitely not. And yeah, I think that really helps out the show. I'm not saying you have to have a surprise entrant or someone who has a really cool, good singable entrance music to have a good show, but I think it really effing helps. And Effie's Big Gay Brunch had that. Joey Janela's Spring Break had that, which we'll get to. But Effie's Big Gay Brunch even had like drag. And it was kind of cool to see like Effie put his own spin on it. He had drag in the middle of the show. That was almost kind of like an intermission. It wasn't. I'm saying not the drag performance itself, but it kind of it broke up the matches a little bit. And there was a twink gauntlet, which featured multiple bears, and
Right.
a bear ended up getting rolled up at the end by Devin Monroe. But it had a lot of different matches. Even Marco Stunt Effie was very different because it involved gimmicky dildos that squirted at you.
Right.
And then the main event delivered, which is Cassandra and Sunny Kiss. I think it completely lived up to the hype. With matches like that, I'm afraid sometimes they won't live up to the hype, but I think this one delivered 100%. What do you
Yeah, I
think about
mean,
this show, man?
yeah, no, I think you're right on. Like, just the fact that it was the first show, maybe that played into it. Seeing a lot of people that we were looking forward to seeing. Like, it was definitely. I'm not gonna say the best show of the day, of the night, or whatever, but I definitely enjoyed it for what it was, because it was the first show. And I think if I, like, for example, if I had, I don't know, let's say Freelance was the first show of that day,
Yeah,
like I would have enjoyed it as much. It's
I,
just a
I,
matter of placement.
it really is. It's a matter of timing. I wouldn't say that Effie's Big Gay Brunch had the best matches collectively. Pun.
Mhm.
Um, if you go to wrestletravel.org, by the way, they have all the results of every show. Shout out to them. I think Freelance's matches in terms of in-ring wrestling were better than Effie's Big Gay Brunch, but Effie's Big Gay Brunch, like every match put a smile on your face in some way, not necessarily for its wrestling, but just for like its entertainment value, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Then
and
we rolled right into Glory Pro.
yeah, hey, just a heads up, I'm getting a little bit of static when you talk. I don't know if that's like my internet or
Oh,
if that's your microphone, but I just wanted to give you
all
that heads
right.
up before we're
Let me
recording an
see. Let
entire
me make some
episode.
changes here.
Maybe do a little
Um,
tweak. Two heels and a face. Oh, we have some phone calls that we're going to get to. Maybe we should do those like in the middle, so people aren't waiting until the end to hear their voice. Or do we want to do them at the end?
No, we can definitely talk about that now. How's my sound coming through now?
That sounds better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so voicemails. So we had the idea, you had the idea of and I think we had talked about this probably like a year or two ago about a hotline and how do we accomplish
We
that.
kind of stole it from Juice Pro as well. I mean, I think they've been doing it for a
Yeah,
while
they've been
as well,
doing that
so
for
I
a
want to give them
while.
credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a
and it was just a
combination of
matter.
like we heard them do it, but then we forgot about it. But then over the weekend, we're like, oh, what if we did it? And then, yeah.
Yeah, and it had to give me a couple years to really technically figure that out and how can we accomplish it with the least minimal cost, and we accomplished that. So we actually got a few voicemails in here, which I'm gonna play.
Okay.
Um, and let's start off with our good friend Val Capone.
Hey dude, it's Val Capone. I just wanted to say I'm sorry I didn't meet you for parking lot White Claws or Modelo's. I was trying to be a quote unquote responsible lady on the mic. I didn't want to blow my voice out. But that being said, I'm also being responsible and isolating at home today. So I've been looking over everything. Getting tested tomorrow morning. And I really feel like the whole experience was a great experience overall. I feel like the collective as a whole went really, really well. And everybody was safe and kind and supportive and polite and respectful. I guess I just want to know, like, do you think that this kind of event should be an annual thing away from WrestleMania or any of the other big pay-per-views that WWE took on? Excuse me. Or do you think it's something that like really could only survive based off of like piggybacking on another giant show? It was a very special set of circumstances for this weekend, but I am so excited that I was a part of it. And I know this sounds weird. I'm finally going to eat that Modelo cookie because I have to say awesome. All right, I love you, dude. I can't wait to talk wrestling with you again soon. Take care, be safe, be awesome.
So that was Val Capone.
Thanks, Val.
And yes, we forgot to talk about cookies. Modelo cookies were passed out all day Saturday, a couple on Sunday, and we still have some more, which I'll be taking over to Milwaukee, to Zella Pro.
Yes, October 17th, Turner Hall Ballroom. Yeah, the people were very receptive of the Modelo cookies. I think everyone enjoyed them. We even gave one to Lainey, and we always buy a Modelo for Lainey. That's just what we do to celebrate her being a badass. And we gave her a Modelo cookie too. So the tradition continued via cookie.
Right. So Bell makes a good point. Do you think like the collective can stand on its own without having to be tied to a WrestleMania weekend?
So I'm biased, but I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, especially because I think that there's still going to be like a very large appetite for live wrestling within probably the next year or so, considering we were deprived of it for like almost a full year, or like a half a year. And so I'm going to say yes. Also, I think there's just enough companies and enough talent to absolutely do both a spring and a fall mega hub. So I think there's enough appetite. I think there's enough talent. I think there's enough companies. So I'm going to say yes, but also because I want it to happen as well.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you on that. Like the collective or an event like the collective does not need to be tied to WrestleMania, and especially if things continue the way they are now. I think it's cool that it happens. It's cool that it's a limited amount of seats. It's not, where you have to be with 60,000 people in one city, all craving wrestling. So it's a safe, good alternative, and I think that they're earning their stripes. Like they can take this, I want to say anywhere that it's that there's that appetite for wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it would be helpful for the wrestlers themselves. Like, I don't know what would draw more, either a crowd that's coming in for WrestleMania but also wants to see an indie show, or a crowd that just wants to go see an indie show because they like indie shows. I don't know what would draw more, but I think it helps the wrestlers because more people are coming to see their shows instead of like missing some of their shows to go see NXT.
And now televised talent is being allowed to go and work these shows, right? So if you didn't see them, like you don't have to see them at only WrestleMania. Like if you're thinking about Marco Stunt or wrestlers that are signed to AEW, they're able to go work elsewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could definitely tell that there was a difference when Marco Stunt and Orange Cassidy came through the curtain. That these are guys that more people know better now because of AEW. So
Right.
there
And
was
not to leave
that
out
star
the
effect.
Impact guys.
Yeah, not to leave out the Impact guys, definitely not.
Right. So we also have another call that's actually going to lead into what went on during Glory Pro for us. So I'm going to play that next. And that's coming from our friend Juice.
What's up, guys? It's your homie The Juice from the Juice Pro Wrestling Podcast. And I just want to know, wrestling is a buffet. Speaking of buffets, what the hell were you guys eating down there at the Collective? And also, what was your favorite event during the whole entire event of the Collective? What was your favorite match from the Collective? I'm sure there was many, but hey, that's what I want to know. Until next time, guys, wet 'em up. Wet 'em up.
We will never match Juice's energy. If you want a podcast that wakes your ass up in the morning, you need to go listen to Juice Pro Wrestling, because we're recording at 7:30 at night. And we're usually like kind of sleepy and making just like awful jokes that don't make sense. But I feel like Juice like zaps you full of energy when you listen to him. That was an example.
Exactly. So what was on the menu, Charlie?
Well, I have to first apologize to Glory Pro, and especially I wanted to see the SOD tag team match, but old girl Wendy's was calling, and we needed some food. We were up early. I stayed up at Chris's late the night before and watched the season finale of The Boys. So I was tired. I needed some energy. We needed some food.
I started episode 1 of The Boys today.
Oh, what did you think? Super dark, right?
Yes, it starts a little dark, but I kind of felt like I was ready for it. So yeah, it's just episode 1. So
cool. I think you're gonna really like it. I won't get into that spiel. You heard my spiel on why it's good.
Right.
Yeah, Wendy's was on the menu, and then we had some. We scarfed down some food before Freelance. Do you remember that at that one stand where that guy exploded on all his coworkers?
the funnel cake shop that didn't sell funnel cakes.
Yes, the funnel cake shop that didn't sell funnel cakes. But that was like pretty bad food. It was just like we just needed like something. Right?
Yeah.
How are those nachos?
They tasted great. I hadn't had nachos in forever, so
okay.
Like anything I tasted that weekend was great.
Dude, the tacos on Sunday brought me to life, bro. So this is like a whole day.
I was not expecting them to be that good. I'm like, I'll just eat something so my stomach's not empty. But once I had the first bite, I was like, okay, I see you, senora, in the back.
There were these tacos on Sunday. We were pretty tired, fairly hungover, not to the point where we like had headaches, but we were just exhausted. And then we had a couple of these tacos. I mean, they did cheese and lettuce on it. They were chicken tacos with cheese and lettuce. So cheese and lettuce, I usually prefer, believe it or not, I mean, even me being a white guy, you got to go onions and cilantro. It's the authentic way. It's just the best tasting way.
And the fact that they were chicken tacos had also like told me that they were going to have cheese and lettuce for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. If it was pastor, I would never put cheese.
Pastor, asada, whatever, yeah. But as I told you, like she, fried the tortillas. Like that's a
you did say that
a cool little trick. Like they're gonna taste 10 times better if you dip that tortilla in hot oil for a little bit. And especially after a night of drinking, that tasted great.
Yeah, they literally revitalized me, those tacos. It was like drinking a health potion in Dungeons and Dragons. So a hefty health potion. And I don't think we ate anything else. I mean, we ate some like stuff from like the gas stations, right? But it was we mostly just drank.
Yeah, we mostly drank. Like there was not a lot of food. We had a couple cookies ourselves, but
I had a couple cookies. But yeah, thanks for calling in, Juice. Thanks for calling in, Val. Let's talk about Glory Pro, and we had one more caller who we'll get to. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, we missed some of these matches. Like, but what we did see was great. We saw the North destroy Blake Christian and Alex Zane. That was awesome.
And then I think we made it back in time for the main event.
Yes. Did we see anything else? No,
I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
Because we went back. Because the thing is that we were in search for food, but we had Ubered it.
We saw Hakeem Zayn and Kylie Ray. We saw that match for sure.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay, you're right.
Because I remember Hakeem Zayn. What was he saying to the crowd? He was like, "Oh God," he was saying something so deprecating to Kylie, I believe. And Kylie's very protective of that snack pack. Super protective. Do not mess with that. So I think we saw a couple of matches, and then we had to tap out. We had to submit, but we did see the main event.
Well, that was the thing though. Like we took an Uber there from the hotel. We took an Uber to the venue because we didn't know what the parking situation was going to be like. So when we wanted to get food, we're like, let's just go back, get my car. We'll drive to somewhere. So it took us a little longer than it would normally had taken us to get to Wendy's. It's not like Basil was driving out, 15 minutes for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Basil went 30 minutes round trip for some Chick-fil-A. Let it be known. So if you,
can't blame him, but I'm like, I also wanted to get back to wrestling, and
you could either be making fun of us for saying that, or you could be making fun of him, whatever side you're on. I mean, Chick-fil-A is great, but I don't know if I would drive that far for it. But hey, to each their own. But we're gonna put that out in the atmosphere, and we're gonna see what happens. So if that comes back to us,
well, I'll accept it. Just thinking about Chick-fil-A makes me hungry all over again now. So after that, we had the massive Big O event of Janela Spring Break.
Can I say a preference for me really quick? I want to say that wrestling is a buffet. You can prefer one thing or the other. I did not prefer. I think ACH's both of his matches were like, in terms of like, they were like both car crashes. Him and AJ Gray in the Glory Pro main event, and then him and Leo Rush at Joey Janela Spring Break. They were both car crashes, but I felt like it was just like move. Like it was just boom, 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 boom. And there wasn't like a pause or a break in the match to like address the crowd and like acknowledge the story and like kind of like feel what was going on. That I felt like I don't remember any of those matches because it was just like a flash of moves. And
well, there was definitely like, I think at that point also some wrestling fatigue.
Yeah, probably a little wrestling fatigue as well. But yeah, I just want to point out like it's just a preference thing. I'm not saying that I've enjoyed ACH's matches 100% in the past, but I think that the matches that like kind of slowed it down a little bit and took, not that you didn't have to have crazy moves in there, but like the ones that kind of like went up and then down a little bit and like they took a break. They did some kind of character thing. They came back and then went back up. Like those are the matches I think that I just enjoyed a little more this weekend. I think because they were just like easier to follow because of wrestling fatigue, the ones that like took a second. I don't know. That's just a preference. I followed up a negative with a positive, but wrestling's a buffet.
The match that took a lot of seconds was a clusterfuck.
Yeah. I don't even know how to explain this match.
I mean, it was a clusterfuck. Like literally, that's what it was.
Perfect name. It has the perfect name.
I was trying to see if there's or if the length of the clusterfuck, like time wise.
It was over an hour.
How many
participants? It was over an hour. I know for a fact because I remember someone.
It was over an hour.
I remember someone saying that in the parking lot because we tailgated in between Janela Spring Break and Freelance. I'm pretty sure someone said it was over an hour.
In between every show, we're drinking in the parking lot.
Well, that's true.
So, but yeah, like I just remember because for a while, like I was trying to like understand the clusterfuck, right? I'm like, oh, is it every 30 seconds that we get a new participant?
No.
Is it every 2 minutes? I'm like, wait, we just watched these guys go at it for a while. We haven't seen anybody. Is it over? I'm like, oh, wait.
Nate Webb is still in?
Right.
Wait, the Invisible Man? Did I think the Invisible Man just got eliminated by a doll? Oh, okay. We're
right.
piecing it together. We're asking each other questions. We're piecing it together. We're pointing out who is still
Our
in.
minds were a clusterfuck, trying to figure out the clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And trust me, I love some comedy wrestling. Like there were some good comedy spots in here. And I think it's
Yeah.
designed for that, to have, craziness happen. Like you had the Invisible Man. Like how crazier can you get? But you also had the rules with no rules of people jumping off the third rope and onto the outside, but they weren't eliminated. You had the Walmart guys come out and do a spot and get eliminated, but then they came back again and with the table to do another spot. So I was like, wait, I thought they were already eliminated. Well, they're still eliminated, but they just wanted to come out and do one more thing. I don't know.
We just need someone who's standing next to like a whiteboard. Like let's get Chico to stand next to a whiteboard. Or like anyone and just like cross out names as they're eliminated so we can like help keep track. We need like a spreadsheet. Like someone has to be updating a spreadsheet and just use like a a TV or something and just like project it so everyone in the stadium can see people being crossed off. That was the only way you knew who was in or out.
Yeah, that was something else. It definitely took a toll on my wrestling stamina,
sanity as well.
Insanity. Yeah, like we had definitely to we stepped out for a little bit after that one just to kind of get some fresh air. It made me take off my shirt because I had a long sleeve. I just needed to air out. I did not know what to do after that match. But upcoming we do have Freelance. But before we go on to Freelance, do you want me to play the next?
No, I want to talk a little bit about.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about the Joey. Although if wrestling is a buffet, which it is, Joey Janela Spring Break was the most buffet.
Oh yeah, you had a lot to choose from
because you had a absolute wrestling clinic with Jonathan Gresham and Lee Moriarty. You had an absolute heel fest, which when Orange Cassidy wrestled Ricky Shane Page, which was that match, and I think that match, probably Cassandra versus Sunny, and then maybe Janela versus Ricky Morton, and then maybe Kylie versus Josh Alexander. I think I would put those four. Okay. Those four in a bracket for match of the day. And those four had a ton of storytelling, I thought. Ricky Shane Page is so good at being just this chotch that you just like want to strangle, but you can't do it. And like he's so good at that at this current role with my
prediction for Ricky Shane Page was that he was going to go up against Elena Black
for music rights.
For music rights, absolutely.
Yeah, that's still got to happen. And they both come out to the same song. Like the song just doesn't stop. So it's like one person comes out.
And then whenever one of them wins, that song plays, and then they get confused as to who won.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just want to say that
I definitely enjoyed the Ricky Morton one. Yeah. I had forgotten to talk about that one.
It felt like Ricky Morton and Joey Janela, like every spot popped the crowd, and same with Orange Cassidy and Ricochet Page, like every single spot popped the crowd. And then this ended with a death match that we didn't even see because you had to take your shirt off. I had to breathe because the clusterfuck fucked me up. And but this was I want to say that this was the ultimate buffet show of the weekend because so many unique different matches were on here. You had technical, you had a death match, you had a clusterfuck, you had the triple threat, an awesome tag match. So it was like every type of match you could ask for. A legend. Yep. That's all I wanted to say. And then we can go on to the next call.
All right. Well, let's get into the next call. Joe Janela, you outdid yourself again. Here we go. This is not Joe Janela, by the way. That would have been nice. But we got a good friend of ours here, the real fan bro.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Tim, a.k.a. the real fan bro. My question for you guys is, what was your favorite show of the weekend? Take care.
Ooh.
Tim is the man. Thanks for calling in, Tim. Shit. I don't know, man. Obviously, my bias is leaning me towards Freelance a little bit, but I think I'd have to put. I don't know. What do you think?
So for me, it's positioning, right, and how we felt during the matches. Of course, we were there for Freelance. Freelance brought us out there. Freelance was a draw, but getting in there and just experiencing the craziness of the gay brunch, I
Yeah,
gotta say it was the gay brunch for me.
I can't go back on what I said earlier, and I'm pretty sure I thought that was my favorite, and I think timing played a lot into it. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we love Freelance. We'll always love Freelance, and we're so proud that they came and represented. Um, and all the people worked extremely hard. It was all hands effort. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I have to say Effie's Big Gay Brunch. I think it was just the perfect start to our day.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what we're going with. We're sticking with that. And again, not to say that the other shows weren't good or whatever. It's a buffet. We were picking and choosing for sure. And yeah, Saturday was an overall great day. But we mentioned Freelance, so let's talk about Freelance. Isaias Velasquez opened against Lee Moriarty. What do you think about that one?
Um, it
It
was a
was I wanted that match to be a little further in the card,
okay.
just so I could get maybe the scramble or something to get me into the Freelance mode.
To wet your palate.
Mm-hmm.
This has been. I feel like this has been a trend with Isaiah lately. Let's put him against someone also really talented that he hasn't wrestled before, and put
Mm-hmm.
him on and put him first. I can't say that it's like not a smart recipe because it is. But I think maybe traditionally a scramble would have been like a little bit more like traditional Freelance. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was what Isaiah kind of has been doing now for some time, which is, like I said, one-on-one singles where he thrives because he can hold a singles match with anyone because he's that damn good
And I think
against someone new.
the thinking behind putting him up front is he's the ace of Freelance, right? Like, let's get this crowd hyped, let's get them pumped up.
Yeah,
So carrying
that's
that on
true.
his shoulders at a 12:30 show, um, I think that was the thinking behind that.
He's almost like a gatekeeper litmus test in a way, not necessarily like because I think that connotation can be taken negatively, but he's just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, you want to be on a Freelance card and you're a talented dude. Can you wrestle Isaiah Velasquez? Because Isaiah Velasquez can effing wrestle. So if you want to be on a card going forward, like let's see what you got against him, because there's like no one he can have a bad match with. So it was kind of
No.
just it seems like he's used in that way a little bit, but for our entertainment.
Right. I mean, and obviously we might be biased, or just because we're in Chicago and we go to Freelance every month, well, whenever they were running, and we are huge fans of Isaiah's. Like, when you would think about like who was that gatekeeper into the Indies, and I don't think Isaiah's is at that level just because he hasn't had that exposure. But I mean, in one way or another, I want to say it's like Chris Hero was at
Yeah,
one point.
I knew you were gonna say that, and I agree 100%.
Like he's the one that's gonna put you to the test, no matter what style you wrestle.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Like, and Isaiah is a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So people who come in to a card where they're new, which is Lee, for a Freelance card, he's new to a
Yeah, yeah,
Freelance
yeah.
card. The trainer is going to put you to the test. That's what he did.
Yes, sir. Which other match do you want to talk about in this card?
There, there was a viral GIF. Oh, so we forgot to mention the viral GIF of Trevor Arla shooting himself and then the nuts with the confetti cannon. I just wanted to give a shout out to that because that tweet is embedded in here. But back to the Freelance card. I felt robbed that Effie is no longer a Freelance Legacy Championship. I feel like someone stole my Halloween candy bag, and I'm just in like kind of a sour mood about it. I hope Effie keeps coming to Freelance shows in the future, and I'm sure he will. But it just felt right with him having that belt, and now it was stolen by a clown, 2 clowns actually.
Yeah, I mean, the legacy of the Legacy Championship belt, right, was Eye Candy, Effie, and now it's in the hands of a clown. So
2 clowns. They're both clowns, in my opinion. Just kidding. They're both good at what they do. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Robert, if there's anyone who can create a legacy for the Legacy Championship, it's definitely Robert Ego Anthony and Frank the Clown. But it's just like, it's just one of those baby faces you always want to win, and it felt like, it's just like theatrically and storyline wise, I think it left like a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because you want the baby face to win, and so I'm usually a fan of baby faces, but in this case, he just is one of those ones where I wanted the baby face to really win, and he didn't pull it out. So,
the Freelance Underground Independent Championship match, sponsored by Two Heels and a Face.
What up? Our logo was on the banner.
Yeah,
I think I took some photos of it. Oh boy, I hope I did. I know I put something on our story, but obviously that goes away.
I posted to Instagram.
Oh
right
yeah,
away.
you did.
And
I
I
like
tagged
took
the
a
other
close-up
sponsors
shot.
as well. What was that?
But yeah, I did take a close-up shot. Oh no, okay. Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm just
we
going through
were
my
on the
phone.
poster. I don't know. I think we were also in the lower third of that match. I think through Fight. Not sure. I know Val said that she had done the plug for us during that match. So appreciate that. Now I gotta go check it out.
Yep.
And I mean, I think this match delivered. Again, it's a tough spot because it was a really late night show. But I thought the crowd was behind Laney, and the people that wanted to see Faye got Faye Jackson, and they got what people wanted.
Give me what I want. Yeah, this match was it was a 2-hour show, start to finish, but it was because spring break ran late, and it went from like 12:30 to like 2:30, and yeah, we're getting towards the end of the card here. But honestly, the final 2 matches were, I think, the best 2 of the night on this card, and that was Shane Mercer defeating Ethan Page and Colby Corino. Ethan Page just honestly, when I talk about like slowing down a match and doing a character thing, Ethan Page does that all the time. He never forgets to work in his character, ever. He has never once forgotten to work it in since I have watched him wrestle.
It's all ego.
He even before the bell rings, he always makes sure to say something before the bell rings. Like even in even in Black Label Pro, he wrestled. He made sure to like say something. Remember when JD Drake threw that towel at him at Black Label Pro? Like Ethan Page during this show, he said, "Are we ready to wrestle at 2 a.m.?" Like and that's just like him being himself. Like he never forgets to work in. He never forgets that being like a character and a story is part of this as well. Like it's not always just. I sound like probably a grouch when I'm saying this, but it's not always just cool moves. Cool moves are cool. I love cool moves. I love lucha. I love flippy shit, but it's not just that,
Right.
And
that's
when a
why
match
Pentagon
can have like
Pentagon, right? Like he can do the cool moves, but it's all character. Like Ego, it's all character. Like he knows how to wrestle. He knows how to deliver in the ring, but what makes him stand out is that he carries the character everywhere he goes. He doesn't stop talking. He doesn't stop, making those funny remarks, and
he never shuts it off. It's so like it is like a thing I wish people did there was more of. Like Warhorse and Danhausen have outlandish characters, but they never shut them off either. They're always in character. So I think when they have very strongly defined characters, so when the character template and this is what I'm going to do in this situation, because this is what Ethan Page does in this situation, not what Julian does, but what Ethan Page does, then you just go into that every single time. And I think I would like to see more of that on the indies, honestly, like a really well-rounded, well-defined character who he or she is going to act a certain way in a certain situation, and then do that in the middle of a match, even while moves are happening. I think that would be like a way to just tell more stories. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. I feel like that was mostly positive. Was that on
No,
Wrestle
it
Positive?
was. I mean, because that
Okay.
also like translates over to why Kylie Ray and Josh Alexander main evented this show. Like again, Josh Alexander is a walking weapon from the moment he walks through that curtain
Right.
and displays that, you know, in the ring. Kylie Ray being the lovable baby face, with still showing, you know, towards the end that obsession she has with the freelance title. You know,
Mhm.
subtle hints of that, but
Right.
again, it's all that character development that's happening, right? And still not forgetting that even though we hadn't had freelance in so many months, that's still, you know, a very small thread in, you know, in the storyline there.
Yeah, like I said, I talk about the matches I liked. They took a second to stop and do something character wise.
Mhm.
Kylie Ray rolling out of the ring. First of all, guarding the snack pack. That's a character thing. Rolling out of the ring, putting on her own earmuffs, her own wrestling earmuffs, emerging from the other side of the ring to reveal those earmuffs, rolling back into the ring, pushing
White earmuffs.
yeah, pushing Josh Alexander and saying, "What, you want to wrestle? You want to wrestle?" Like that is all character. And she got her ass kicked the first half of that match because they were telling a story, which is a really good intergendered story to tell. It doesn't always have to be this way, but when you have Josh Alexander in the ring, you can tell the story of the woman is not as strong as him, but the woman does not give up. You can tell that story. That's the
And
story
it felt
they told.
completely different, but is a similar story. Again, back to Ethan Page and Kylie Ray. You know, like,
Yeah.
but it felt different. Like they
Yeah.
both, you know, told the same story, if you want to say the same story, but it felt different. They presented it differently,
Yeah.
with their own characters.
Yeah, exactly. That's a exact point. They didn't just Kylie and Josh didn't just mimic Kylie and Ethan. They took that story and just made their own version of it. It wasn't a copy and paste plagiarism, you know. It
Right.
was hey, I'm gonna paste a paragraph in here, but I'm gonna put in my own words plagiarism. You know, we've all been through English class and got by with a little
Right.
plagiarism here and there. We're all human. But no, they made it their own. They made it unique, and they took time to just like chill out. Once again, chill out on the moves for a second, and just be like, we're also these characters. Let's just take like 30 seconds to play into that, and then we can just go back into the ass kicking, which is great stuff too. But yeah.
So, you know, Josh Alexander also kind of, you know, being that standout wrestler, he goes ahead and performs another intergender match the following day at the BLP show, and really like putting a big spotlight. And you're gonna have to help me out with her name because I didn't know her prior to this match. Like,
I guess I'll bail you out. This is your one bailout for the podcast.
that's all I need.
Legit Layla Hirsch.
Layla Hirsch, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, on our way back, we did a quick Instagram live, and we were talking to D-Ray. He asked us, who was that standout for you? And for me, it was her. It was Layla Hirsch.
Yeah.
Like, the wrestler that I didn't know much about, if anything. And
No, I didn't know
and
anything
just-
about her. I didn't even
right.
know, like, I saw her promo pic only, and I didn't know she was her stature or like what her style
Right, I
was.
recognized her promo pic because I
Yeah.
think I've seen her in other posters, but never seen her work, and she left me wanting to see more.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Josh Alexander proved that he can wrestle anyone now, male or female, or just anyone. He can really wrestle them and do it in a way that is meaningful. I think that's what he showed with both of those matches. They were like, did that one open up Black Label Pro too? Or no, we come in a little late for that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we were walking in when that match was just starting.
Okay. Oh, is that not on? Oh, that one's
I don't
not
think
on
that's
here.
not on this.
Oh, WrestleTravel.org. You did not post the results of Black Label Pro. What is going on there, guys? I'm just kidding. This has been super helpful. But yeah, Threat Level Noon. We got to find the results of that now. But I think that was my favorite match of Threat Level Noon was Josh Alexander versus legit Layla Hirsch. I'm sort of sour the besties lost. A little sour about that. That was kind of the same feeling as Effie, where like your favorite kind of loses. And can't do anything about it. So I was a little sour at that one. Excuse me.
Right. I think I have the results here, or the card. The one that according to this, the one that opened up was Alex Shelley defeating Anthony Henry, and I think we walked in at that match.
Yes. Okay. No, did we?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I want to also say that a lot of people said that For the Culture was one of their favorite shows, and that is the one we.
Oh, right. That was a Friday night one, right?
Yeah, that's the one I was I wish it was on like a different day, just because of how the way our schedules work out. But that's one I'd probably want to go back and watch. But I think a lot of people were picking that. I saw on Twitter as their favorite show of the weekend. So I just want to point that out, that is one you should definitely check out. That's just not one we saw, so we're biased to what we saw with our own eyes.
Stunt doubles defeated Gatanic Panic, which that's Stenhouse and Effie.
Okay.
Effie
just got his ass kicked the whole weekend. I love it.
A lot of Marco Stunt getting tossed around. What's her name? Kylie Ray was not able to be there, but she was replaced by Billy Starks against Killer Kelly.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot about Billy Starks? I feel like I should know. After this weekend, I feel like I should know more about her.
No, but I know why people like her, because she definitely lights up that ring. So I know that everyone was very high on her.
There was this specific logo shirt, BSC or BS something.
BSB.
Is it BSB?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I was wondering, like, where's that shirt from? Is it a playoff or something, or is that her original design?
It says her Big Starks brand. I believe it's her. So I don't know the relationship either between her and Mouse, the photographer, but
okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sound stupid, and I don't know, but I believe that's his
don't
shirt.
know either.
Yeah, I believe that's his shirt.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks for asking me a question I don't know and making me sound real dumb.
Listen, bro, I'm asking because I don't know either. So somebody's gonna hate tweet us. That's
you
fine.
Just cut this whole part out.
As long as I get the information I need, like, yeah, you could talk shit to me. I won't edit you because you're not leaving a voicemail. So is this the first time where you see Airwolf and Angel Dorado taking off their mask at the entrance? Because I know I've mentioned that before and you hadn't seen that.
Yeah, you did mention that to me, and that's even his Twitter avatar now. So these are good looking dudes, man. But yeah, their masks are now kind of not wearing them in the ring, but I think it makes them. I don't know. I think they still look pretty cool even without them. So I don't know if that's a part of your luchiness dies when that happens, but once again, you don't have to be a luchador and wear a mask, but
right.
I think they would consider themselves of the lucha style.
Jake something and Warhorse. The fact that Jake something was making those dives to the outside over the top rope onto Warhorse, I'm like, that man's just gonna squash him on the floor in the cement.
That meant something. I don't know.
That meant something. But he can dive over the top rope. We witnessed him multiple times. It was insane. And then Gary J comes out with the belt that was stolen. Yes.
From Warhorse, the Independent TV Championship, and that feud just continues. I don't know if they've ever had a feud when it was Warhorse versus Gary J as opposed to Jake Parnell versus Gary J, but that is like, that's the fight forever feud. That's the Kevin Owens to Sami Zayn, is like, these guys are just destined to do it forever, and it kind of has resparked.
Yeah.
And that's how it ended, I think.
Yeah, that was the main event for Black Label Pro. Overall, man, like there was a lot of wrestling, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it again, but maybe next year.
I'm super glad we went. You didn't get sick of me that much, did you? You weren't sick of me
yet,
but the time was
all.
over. Okay.
I mean, as long as we're drinking and watching wrestling, who can get sick of that?
Yeah. There was some good times. There were some times that dragged. There were some times that felt long. There were some times where we really needed food. but most of all, there was a lot of good times. It was cool hanging out with Pac. I felt like we drank the most with Pac. So shout out to Pac and Tree and some other people for like that's what I felt like we drank the most beers with. Oh, and Rad.
Brad, yeah, Brad was there.
So that was kind of our drinking crew. So I appreciate them hanging out with us in between shows. And I appreciate everyone's hard effort to put something on like that, man. It's just like so much effort for really just the love of wrestling and not a ton of other reward besides that. I'm assuming. I mean, assuming the wrestlers got paid and stuff, but everyone gets paid to some extent. But I'm saying like most of it is just for the love of wrestling, man.
The Freelance Academy,
Freelance Academy probably didn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did, but
whether they got paid or not, like I just appreciate their work.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They were there throughout the whole weekend, cleaning, sanitizing, making sure that people were being assisted. As far as I knew, they were, either putting up the ring, turning down the ring. They were just all over the collective, just being supportive and helpful.
They were super supportive and helpful. Yeah. Trevor Outlaw, I think, is starting to GoFundMe to get one of his left nut replaced. So we'll probably be donating to that. So definitely check out the link in the description for that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was. I mean, I have like. There's just people on Twitter all day saying good things about each other, and it just like brings a super smile to my face because it was definitely a success, and I don't think there's been any like, at least not that I've heard of, like, it seemed everyone stayed safe as well. I felt like wrestlers would maybe come out if they contracted the virus, but everyone seems to be all the people who are going to be in a locker room and within the next couple of weeks are getting tested. So
yeah, man. So it was a good time. It was lots of fun. And, on to the next show, I guess. For Two Heels and a Face, it will be Cella Pro in Milwaukee, Turner Hall. And after that, maybe some AAW. But yeah, we just, we got to keep an eye out. Wrestling shows that are happening in Chicago. I know Gali's also running shows. So as long as everybody stays safe, wrestling will keep on keeping on.
Yeah, wrestling rose from the dead like The Undertaker this weekend. And but no, it was so much fun. I'm really glad we went. Thanks for driving. And yeah, I hope someone who didn't get to go is listening, enjoyed this podcast.
Right. You can always check out replays on Fight TV. But if you want to, catch some of Charlie's tweets, as he is mainly the one tweeting out of Two Heels and a Face on Twitter.
Late night,
Make sure you follow us there.
4 a.m. tweets begging someone to drink with us. If you want to see those desperate tweets for friends, that's where you can follow us. Two Heels and a Face.
You can definitely check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. You can check out our website, twoheelsandaface.com, where we post articles on every episode. And now we have a hotline, so if you want to, dial up and leave a voicemail, like Val, the Real Fanbro, and Juice, you could always dial 872-222-7661.
872. What is it?
222-7661.
872-222-7661.
That's right. That's the Two Heels and Face hotline. Leave us your hot takes. And Charlie, where can people find our episodes, subscribe, rate, review?
Spotify. Just Spotify. SoundCloud. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio. Daily Motion is probably our biggest platform. But yeah, one of those places.
All right. Well, make sure you hashtag Viva La Chico.
Hashtag Viva La Chico. Who's reffing Thursday? It's all pro. Hashtag Viva La Chico.